I want to start off this video by giving all praises to the Most High in the name of His Son. Kahala Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who brought us this truth and who rule well. Double honors, again to them because, if it wasn't for them, John 17 verse 6 and 26, I would not have understanding of that dream that I heard the names Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, which is the Father in the name of His Son. And in second Esdras, it talks about the righteous names being made manifest, okay? And that matches up with Revelations 14 and 1. And it's pretty heavy, guys. But you guys would have to read the Bible to understand the height of my knowledge and wisdom that was, given to me. I am of a young age, and, the knowledge I have is very detrimental, So I try to be as humble and speak with as much meekness as possible. This is basically like I was thirsty and hungry, and I heard upon the moon, and wisdom, that's the moon, and that's the thing. She's the mother of all living, and the father of all living. His throne is right next to her, and kind of want to bring some things out. What I just found in Isaiah 49:16, matching up with the 144,000 graven image in my forehead. Isaiah 49 verse 16. Behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hand. Thy walls are continually before me. And I had a dream that I had a dream of it was like a fortress. It was like a fortress in the woods, and I seen a deer there, but it was in like the middle of the woods, so I was taking that as the wilderness, okay? And if you look in the scriptures and you try to understand that actually everybody in the whole world is lost in like the wilderness of their own mind, okay? The darkness, okay? And they shall, Isaiah 49:10, after the moon, she gave me so much understanding, like I'm not thirsty, I'm not hungry, you know what I mean? They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither shall the heat nor the sun smite them. For he that hath mercy on them shall lead them even by the springs of waters, which are Slakia shall he guide them. So by the springs of water, and that's wisdom, I'm gonna show you guys some. I did eyes of the. Let's go to under the floods, because you would know that the flood, that new flood's about to hit. It's the fire, and I actually went through the fire. That's how you have to go through and get your judgment and get your garment and get proved. Okay. Endure through that fire. 2 Samuel 22:5. When the waves of death compass me, that's the shadow of death, and this is your judgment. This is when you're being tried. The parable of death crossed our mind. I'm about to pull up that too. Actually, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. And that's the thing. That's the wicked one, the Satan, when he tries to cast demons on you, and the thing is, he's got power. It's like through your own lust and your desires, your sins and your iniquities draw you closer and closer to your death, to the truth. And that's like, some people got to know the truth after death, okay? And let's see, Psalms 18:4. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. And that's the same thing. That's a spiritual and physical. It happens spiritually before it's physical. to strengthen you so you could prepare yourself for that day. You know what I mean? Do you want to die with honor or an unhonorable death? Okay. Um, he made darkness his secret place, his pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed hailstones and coals of fire. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Lord, also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. Yeah, he sent out his arrows and scattered them, and he shot out lightnings and discomfited them. Then the channels of waters were seen, and the foundations of the world were discovered at thy rebuke, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. At the blast of thy breath of thy nostrils, he sent from above and took me and drew me out many waters. And this is what happened. And then he set me in a high, very, very, very high place, okay? With him, okay? He delivered me from my strong enemy and from them which hated me, for they were too strong for me. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but Yahweh was my stay. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. Yahweh, the Lord, rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands hath he recompensed me. So, and that's basically everybody on the planet is going to be rewarded for their good doings and their wrongdoings. And the thing is, you're going to be known by your fruits. It's going to be made manifest. For I have kept the ways of Yahweh, the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. And just like Daniel, we're all, in a way, we're all having that testimony of Daniel. Every day you're being tried. You wake up and you're in a lion's den, or you're debating and you're battling inner and outer thoughts, whether it be with yourself or your family members, or just anything. Okay, it could be little obstacles, little traffic, things that make you frustrated. Okay. You want to recognize those for what it is. Okay, we are in a corruptible world, and we aim for a perfect world where none of that stuff happens. And you start to notice that the link is out of the chain in this world. Okay, and we are off the axis. Okay, and the sins of this world, the doctrines of this world, from what we're taught from when we're a child up until when you get out of school, you're actually brainwashed, and you're kind of led on a dark path. Okay, a path of money and greed, so you could keep the elite rich and the poor poor. So your likes and what you subscribe to, you're voting for your world tomorrow, and it's very critical. What you do on a day-to-day basis, how you eat, how you think, eating and drinking. You're also spiritually, when you're reading something, you're eating something, you're ingesting it. You're investing. You're putting it into your body. But if you don't apply it to your life, you're not gonna remember. Okay. So this is why you want to stay on flame, whatever you're doing, and try to be godlike. You know what I mean, and always keep the Most High, Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua. I say everybody before just get out of these churches, because that's pagan and satanic. They set up a graven image of Satan, and you can look in scriptures all about the graven images. I don't got too much time to tell you, but I've been well studied, and the thing is, I have a graven image in my forehead because I'm approved, and with time, you can understand who I am for you. I died twice as I was born in this world, so I was like, I was always questioning life, and um, I was messing up real bad, and I've told people, like at Psalms 80, Psalms 18 and 15, then the channels of the waters were seen, and the foundations of the world were discovered at thy rebuke, O Yahweh, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils. And I just want to show you because, that agenda they're pushing, the music industry, taking acid, shrooms, and stuff like that. The thing is, in this life, sometimes you gotta learn from the fool. And I'm gonna tell you, that night, you know, I was definitely a fool, and still to this day, we're a fool in the ways, because we're not perfect until, that perfect day comes, which the Most High is gonna accomplish, but we got to get through Jacob's trouble. We got to get through the riots. We got to get through the famines. We got to get through, the thing is, that's why the wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of thy times. I'm going to pull that up real quick. Wisdom, stability. Let's see, stability. See, I use the coordinates because it helps me. Like Isaiah 33 and 6. This is out the King James. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua the Lord is his treasure. And whose treasure? That's going to be your treasure once you find wisdom and knowledge. And I'm telling you right now, it's the moon, but she's going to try you. And the thing is, it's just that she's going to come down upon only, mighty men. She's a lot of people have been sent away empty-handed by her, and actually terrified, or some people have even died in her grasp. Okay, but her holy ones, her children, she awaked us with joy, but with weeping and gnashing of teeth and lamentations, she sent us away, so we could understand. So, like, when you get chastised, the thing is, the Most High, he's gonna give you, I'm not wholly perfect, okay? The thing is, when you get your eyes enlightened, like when you see his salvation, when you actually see his saving arm, that's the power. I'm gonna pull up the spark, because the spark is what I seen under the moon that night. And then I heard like a ladylike voice inside my spirit. So let me try to go. Isaiah 1 and 31. And I will restore thy judges as at the first. And that's the beginning, and the judges from the beginning, which are the 144,000. Verse 19, if ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. But if ye refuse and rebel, and 2 Samuel's talking about rebellion is the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity, something like that. I'm roughly paraphrasing. You'd have to read to just to I guess prove that I'm being honest and not a liar. My boast is of my God Yahweh, Tawada Yahweh, Tawada Yahweh, making me quick and witty in the spirit. That's the judgment. Quick of understanding. quickening the spirit, reproving the mind. But if you refuse a rebel, you shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai has spoken it. So like the thing is, like, people turning away from this and turning away from the one who they really should have been listening to, those people are gonna die. And I mean, I can't do nothing for them, because you should have listened. You were standing in the presence of one of his sealed ones, but you wouldn't listen. And that's the thing. I'm very like, that thing is, that's the easiest part some people have to do, is just listen, because that's investing, that's eating, digesting, okay? But the thing is, it's only digesting once you read and go prove it. You know, you can't just if you watch that dog get fed food and just sit in the house, or people, and like example, you got to put it to work, because the body profited little. And that's the thing. Thing is, Eclecticus 42 and 22. Oh, how desirable are all his works, and that a man may even, or Slakia, and that a man may see even to a spark. All these things live and remain forever for all uses. All they are all obedient. All things are double, one against another, and he hath made nothing imperfect. And like a shooting star, I seen like a shooting star underneath the moon, and that's when she entered into my soul. Let me find it. I think it's Proverbs. Yeah, Proverbs 2 and 10. When wisdom entereth into thy heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. And the thing is, wisdom, she had to forsake me. Just so, I had it. That's the thing. She never forsake me. The Most High never forsake me. But she entered into me to save me, so I could get this out, so my life wasn't in vain. Proverbs 17 and 10, a reproof entereth more into a wise man than 100 stripes into a fool. And I want to get some more edification. He 2 and 8, he keepeth the paths of judgment, and preserveth the ways of his saints. And see right there, I got a precept for that. Because Jacob, our forefather, we are the seed of Jacob. So I'm of the root of David, like Psalms 40 and 12. Genesis and 32 and 30 match up with, he preserveth the ways of his saint. And Jacob called the name of that place Peniel, for I have seen the Most High face to face, and my life is preserved. That's when he was wrestling with an angel of the Most High. And I'm going to go to additions to Esser. Oh, Slakia. I'm going to go to additions to Esser, because there's some powerful stuff in, I think it's 14. Yeah. Remember, O Yahweh, this is verse 14 and 12. Remember, O Yahweh, O Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, make thyself known in the time of our affliction, and give me boldness, O King of the nations, and Lord of all power. Give me elegant speech in my mouth before the lion, which is Satan, Shatan. Turn his heart turn his heart to hate him that fighteth against us, that there may be an end of him, and of all that are like-minded to him. But deliver us with thy hand, and help me that am desolate, and which have no other help but thee, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Aman Salah. Thou knowest all things, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Lord. Thou knowest that I hate the glory of the unrighteous, and abhorred the meat of the uncircumcised, and of all the heathen. Thou knowest my necessity, for I abhorred the sign of my high estate, which is upon my head, in the days wherein I shew myself, and that I abhorred it is as a menstruous rag, and that I wear it not when I am private by myself. And that's the thing, that high status that was on upon his head. You gotta understand, it isn't a glory right now to be known as an elect, to be, because his name, his people don't know. His people don't know it yet. But I know it's a glory, because it's something not seen yet. So that's the work in it. That's the labor. That's the lot. That's the lot of being a saint. It's to live out your lot, live out your verse, in the book of life, which is the Bible, okay? I thought it was some book, That's the thing. The Most High's got a book up there. He does. And that's where they get that little analogy, Santa Claus, because he's got a list and he's checking it twice. The Most High is checking it every day. He's checking it every second. He knows all the hearts and all your minds. This is additions to Esdras 14:16. Wisdom of Solomon 3:5, 13:14. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, for the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. The thing is, being tried, that's the thing. That's Rudy. This is 15:5, and she was ruddy through the perfection of her beauty, and her countenance was cheerful and very amiable, but her heart was in anguish for fear. Then, having passed through all the doors, she stood before the king, and that king was the Most High God, who sat upon his royal throne, and was clothed with all the robes of majesty, all glittering with gold and precious stones. And he was very dreadful, to the point where, people will dang near, just go off and smash into a tree. Then lifting up his countenance that shone with majesty, he looked very fiercely upon her, and the queen fell down and was pale and fainted. And that's what's going to happen to the children. That's going to happen to all the world, and bowed herself upon the head of the maid that went before her. Then the Most High changed the spirit of the king into mildness, who in a fear leaped off his throne and took her in his arms. Imagine what this is. The most High God leaped off his throne and took her in his arms till she came to herself again. And that's what happened to me when I heard upon the moon, and I felt these energies, these outer forces trying to take over me. And the thing is, I was being comforted by his shield, by his arms himself. Okay. Till she came to herself again, and in my sense, in my situation, till he came into himself again and comforted him with loving words and said unto him, Desmond, what is the matter? I am thy brother, be of good cheer. So he sent an angel, thou shalt not die, though our commandment be general, come near. And as so he held up his golden spectre and laid it upon her neck. So that's very sublimination right there, because if you recognize the kings back in the day, they would take a sword and lay it upon their knight's shoulders. Well, the same way they got that from the truth, because the Most High does it. When he bows you down to the ground and surnames you to, the heavens, and embraced her, and said, Speak unto me. Then said she unto him, I saw thee, my Lord, as an angel of God, and my heart was troubled for fear of thy majesty. For wonderful art thou, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and thy countenance is full of grace. And as she was speaking, she fell down for faintness. Then Yahweh the king was troubled, and all his servants comforted her. That's the thing. It's beautiful right there. Like, the elders and apostles, all the camps around the world, all of you guys got a little piece of comfort in me, and what I went through that night. And I really need you brothers to just stick with me. I'm gonna stick with you no matter what. I don't care if you hate me. I still love you. It's just, I know that's the power of, to us belong the confusion of faces. We don't know anybody yet. That's why, by the fruits of our labors, we're gonna know each other, and that's how we're gonna be able to protect each other in these hard times. Wisdom and stability will be, that's our strength, you guys. If you ever watched the movie Planet of the Apes, a stick by itself is weak, but a bundle together, is unbreakable. And the thing is, when you're fighting a fight, you always keep the most high with you. And I'm really glad that I can make this video longer than just 10 minutes, because it really pains me, because I have so much on my mind, because the thing is, I stress about the things I stress about, but it's a healthy stress, okay? It's like when you need to prove something, when you have something itching on your back, you just gotta itch it. When you gotta find something out, you just gotta find it, right? With your whole heart and mind. That's the Most High says, you seek Him with that type of energy. When you go out and find a job, or you go find a girlfriend, or you go chase your dreams, you're doing that with your whole energy. Or if you're not, then why are you doing it? And basically, that's that kind of spirit you got to be in when you're trying to learn anything. Even when you're talking to somebody, because you don't know who you're talking to, really. And you don't know who's really, exactly, like, you don't know who's talking to. They could be deceiving you. And the thing is, there's vampires. Like, that's what a vampire is. Somebody who leeches off of you, or just tells you, just like these pastors, man. Jeremiah 23, woe unto the pastors who scatter the sheep. And it's the thing is, I want to go over this again. Additions of Esther 15:5, and she was ruddy through the perfection of her beauty. And who's the creator of all beauty? It's the Most High through His wisdom. And ruddy, let's see. Okay, there's my forehead right there. Revelations 22:4. I want to bring up that word, ruddy, because the elect are ruddy. It only shows up. Look, was 144 right there. The songs of let's see what this is. See, look, 1 Samuel 17:42. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, this was when he was about to fight Goliath. He he disdained him, for he was but a youth, and ruddy, and of a fair countenance. And that's beautiful because, see, listen, he was a noted ruddy, okay? 1 Samuel 16:12, and he sent him and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And the Most High Yahweh said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he. That's their king. Okay. Songs of Solomon 5:10, my beloved is white and ruddy, the chiefest among 10,000. And that's what the 144 are. Lamentations 1, Lamentations 4:7. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. And that's what, like, I was like, if you look at this picture, I was made in the womb. You know what I mean? Just like you. Some of y'all are still forming, and it's 10:44 right now. Call Hala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kakodash. So I'm gonna, with the spirit rolling on that, I'm gonna go to because I was in the womb, so I'm gonna stick on the womb. The moon is the womb. Moon is wisdom, okay? She's our mother, okay? That's not what I want. Let's see. That's Job. Job knew a lot about the womb. Job 3:11. Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? And what was that belly, okay? That was the belly of hell. And that's the thing. You'll start to learn that the Bible works in a lot of riddles. You just got to be able to decode it, okay? There's a lot of mysteries and a lot of, once you start getting into it, you can really move the world, okay? Really, Job. Let's see what Luke. Let's see. Luke 2:21, and when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcision of the child, his name was called Yahushua, which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb. So the thing is, the angel before he was conceived in the womb. That's you want to hang on to that, because there's certain words you want to hang on to, because that's prophetic. Some of these visions, some of these words haven't even been fulfilled yet to their timely purpose. And that's how heavy manifestation, they call it law of attraction, but law of attraction came from manifestation, which, we're made in the Most High's image. So, we're given that power to speak things into existence, even think things into existence, which is a very terrifying thing. It can be, okay? Luke 2:23, as it is written in the law of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua the Lord, every male that openeth the womb shall be called holy to the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Let's see, I'm going to try to pull up another one. Psalms 22:9, but thou art he that took me out of the womb, and that womb is hell, that is death, that is destruction, okay? That is wisdom, that is knowledge of good and evil. That's wisdom and understanding, okay? Thou didst make me hope when I was upon my mother's breast. I'm gonna go straight into this one because this one's deep. basically I was suckling at wisdom, the moon. I was getting milk from her, I was getting honey, the honeycomb, the shewbread, the heavenly understanding. I was getting filled up as the moon. Um, Now I'm like I was drinking that mingled wine. Okay, that's when you get cleansed and you get purged of your sins, and you get your stripes and your chastisement. You know, um, after the death cometh, obtaining of authority, the authority that's in the Apocrypha. Um, Psalm 71:6. By thee have I been holden up from the womb. Thou art he that took me out of my mother's bowels. My praise shall be continually of thee. Because that's the thing. There's a lot of untimely births and babies who aren't ever born, and there's abortions. Okay, so you got to take that. If you can spiritually see that, then salvation is the same way. All earth is a womb to the next life, to what's coming. Um, the thing is about the fruit of the womb. Nobody really knows about the fruit of the womb, but it's the fruit of the moon. And Psalms 127:3. Lo, children are the heritage of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. Okay, and I got a precept that goes with that, because if people have children, it's only for the sword. Child fear, child as God. The thing is, you want a God-fearing child, or a God-fearing son. Let me see. I'm gonna try to pull it up. This is something this is really that hit me, because the prayer of Menashes and the prayer of Azariah spoke of in the Apocrypha, how he was saved out the furnace of his, because what sin does is, after sin is done, is death. Okay, you just die. Okay, but the sons of men, the sons of the Most High God, he could put you to death by but his mercy is keep you alive, so you could do right and do good as you're created to. This matches up with this matches up with Baruch 3:2, when the Most High conversed with men, in Job 1:2, when the sons of the Most High God presented themselves, and Satan was among us, to resist us too, and to number us, to kill us off. And this is Luke 15:20. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him, and had compassion, and ran, and fell upon his neck, and kissed him. That's very deep. Oh, that's holy. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven. Just like prayer of Menashes, okay? Psalms 40:12. This is what happened to me, to where I'm not able to lift up my head. The cords of death, the waves of death compass me. But at the same time, I'm here living this day because he showed me, his evil's eviler than any evil you can imagine. So the thing is, he's very dreadful. Okay. I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and I am no more worthy to be called thy son. And this was the thought that was going through my, head at that time, because he discovered the hearts, he discovered the wicked devices of men. Because our minds and our hearts are wicked, y'all. They tell us things and like to deceive us, you guys. I had to remember how wicked and deceitful the heart is. You know what I mean? Because it is. When it tries, your mind and your soul try to glory in your sins. You know what I mean? It's prideful and it's sinful, and I had to go through it to learn about it. Um, I've done much traveling in my life, but the Father said unto his servants, his angels, bring forth the best robe, the best. He said the best robe, and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand, and shoes on his feet, and bring hither the fat calf, and kill it, and let us eat, and be merry. For this my son was dead, and is alive again. He was lost, and is found. And they began to be merry. Hey, and I feel so happy right now. Hey, the shy dang, because I've always been saying I'm lost, but I'm found. And I'm reading that scripture the very first time. I was born on August 1st. I died twice. I've been through some shit. My dad died a couple years ago. And the thing is, I feel like for real, this life is very heavy, you guys. This is I'm merry right now. That was very merryful right there. Now his elder son was in the field, and as he came and drew nigh to the house, he heard music and dancing, and he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said unto them, thy brother is come, and thy father hath killed the fat calf, because he had received him safe and sound. Man, that's wonderful. And he was angry and would not go in. Therefore came his father out and entreated him. Dang. See, that's like us. A lot of people still today, they're not trying to come into this truth. And that's making the Most High angry. He's a jealous God. You're serving false, strange gods and idolatries and idols and celebrities. They're all the same thing. Nothing new under the sun. And he answering said to his father, lo, these many years do I serve thee, neither transgressed I at any time thy commandment, and yet thou never gavest me a kid, that I might make merry with my friends. But as soon as this thy son was come, which hath devoured thy living with harlots, thou hast killed for him the fat calf. And he said unto him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. And if you understand what he just said there, he just said to him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. It was meet that we should make merry and be glad, for this thy brother was dead and alive again, and was lost and is found. It's beautiful. That was just for real. That's like when you really come into the truth, and when you was really in your way of darkness. Just like the thing is, you're not alone. Just like that movie Hancock, I just downloaded that. Lord willing, I could get some edification on some scriptures with some cinema skits inside. Because basically Hancock, what really hit home for me is I've been battling addiction, and smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, and that's really been it. But I don't smoke cigarettes like people think. I don't even buy packs of cigarettes. Thing is, but I used to bum a lot of cigarettes, and that's a bad habit to do, because if you look about the scriptures about being a beggar, it just says that you rather die than to beg. And once you get into this truth, you start to exercise. And that's the thing. It's the thing is, what the customs of what we're accustomed to is really wicked. And well, the thing is, we don't like hearing the truth. Or, when you're told to do something, when you're not ready to, it's hard I know it's hard to, but when you know you have to, that's when it's easier. Um, thing is, like with the thing on my forehead, this is a great sign, and that's wonderful because I didn't even know it was just you pop Tawariya with the Wariya was shy for that, because Isaiah 62:3, thou shalt also be a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord Yahweh, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy God. So I'm gonna go to that picture, and if you look at the diadem in my head, I have exactly what that scripture is. Thou shalt also be for a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord Yahweh, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy God. Thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land be termed desolate, but thou shalt be called Hephzibah, and thy land Beulah. For Yahweh the Lord delighteth in thee, and thy land shall be married. For as a young man marrieth a virgin, so shall thy sons marry thee, and as the bridegroom rejoiceth over the bride, so shall thy God rejoice over thee. And verse 6, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace night or day. Yeah, that make mention of Yahweh. Ye that make mention of Yahweh, the Lord, keep not silent, and give him no rest till he establish, and till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. The Lord Yahweh has sworn by his right hand and by the arm of his strength, surely I will no more give thy corn to be meat for thy enemies. Meaning this truth, this knowledge, this understanding, okay? So they're not going to be teaching us no more. They're not going to be taking our doctrines no more. They're not going to be scattering us anymore, as long as we come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. But the thing is, people are so more worried about the law, statutes, and commandments. I'm about to pull up something about that, because we're so short of time. We have so short of time. Wisdom of Solomon, 9 and 5. Oh, well, let's go back. Well, Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 13. He, being made perfect in a short time, fulfilled a long time. And that's how Revelations 12 and 12. Satan knows he has but a short time, okay? The devil, I'm going to just, therefore rejoice, ye heavens. And that's you righteous, you Israelites, 12 tribes. And, the thing is, we're scattered all abroad. And it's all, the heavens is that, you heavens, that's who he's talking to. You pillars of the heavens, okay? Because everybody who's still alive, standing this day, is like a pillar in this place, okay? And ye that dwell in them, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down upon unto you, having great wrath, because you knoweth that he hath but a short time. And this is why he's sending 144,000 in these last days, as well as his son. Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 13. He being made perfect in a short time fulfilled a long time. Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 5. For I thy servant and son of thy handmaid am a feeble person and of a short time. The Son of Man has only got a few days here, and that's it. And too young for the understanding of judgment and laws. And listen, Ecclesiastes 7 and 2. He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein. Few days is like 30 years, okay? Psalm 27, He endueth them with strength by themselves, and made them according to his image. He put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. They received the use of the 5 operations of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua the Lord, and in the 6th place he imparted them understanding. and in the seventh speech an interpreter of the cogitations thereof. Counsel and a tongue and eyes, ears and a heart gave he them to understand. You got to use all your senses to understand things. You can't just use your eyes and think you're going to get it. No, you got to use your ears too. You got to use your hands. It's hands on. That's what this truth is. With how he filled them with the knowledge of understanding and shewed them good and evil. Like me, I had to go off. I had to take, I had a bad experience on Adderall, and I had a bad experience on LSD, acid, and that is actually sorcery and witchcraft, because that's witchcraft, because rebellion. That's the thing. Sobriety, anything man-made, it's not gonna be good for you. They've got it set up to where, these devils, they manufacture these medications, and it's just a thing to. If you look up what LSD was, it was actually a form of brainwashed. Okay, so the thing is, I had to unlearn to relearn. The thing is, I don't recommend anybody do that, because you could. The thing is, you could put a demon on yourself, and the Most High. You don't know if you're strong enough. You know what I mean, to endure that. The thing is, I had to endure that just to tell you, don't do that. And let me bring up a precept, because this always past John 6:27. I'm gonna bring it out. Look at my forehead, okay? The face, Revelations 22:4, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be on their foreheads. Matches up with John 17:6 and verse 26. I heard the names in my dream, which match up with Revelations 20. Let's go to 22. Revelations 4. Well, it matches up with Revelations 4:21. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. And it matches up with Revelation 7:3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And that's all the tribes of the children of Israel, so-called blacks, Mexicans, Latinos, and Native Americans, up here in the uppermost part of the earth. Basically, we're stuck in captivity, because, for our own sins, and, for the sins of our fathers, and we are getting worse and worse. If you're having kids in this place, you need to stop, because it's only for the sword. And it's you got a virtue memorial when you don't have kids, because people be like, oh, that's different. I've never seen somebody go that long without having no kids. But I'm gonna pull up John 17. John 17, verse 6. And this is the red lettering, so it's very important. It's the Most High's Son talking. Well, and it's the Most High. It's because the Most High and His Son are one. John 17, verse 6. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. And what word was that? That's the testimony. I'm bringing that up too. Jump down to verse 26. I have declared unto them thy name, and I will declare it, that the love wherewith thou hast loved me may be with them, and I in them. And that love is His glory. But because we're one with Yahushua. But listen, I pray not for those. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but thou shouldest keep them from the evil. So the thing is, the more evil it's getting, that's the closer I'm getting to getting out of here. And this is why, verse 16, they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. As thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. And that's a might. You know what I mean? That was a might. But it actually happened to me. And it's the water shot. Yeah, the water Yahweh Shai. And verse 11, 10 actually. Let's see, because there's a very heavy one. Oh yeah, verse 20. Neither I pray for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word. So he's talking about a peculiar people, and that's the he was talking about the 144,000 having the fathers and basically having the same glory as him.